Good morning, everyone. This is Karen Cochrane Hall from Tara Biz Condado and Client Marketing Solutions with tip of the morning to you. I'm a tad late this morning, and I am grateful for your patience, putting into practice the replacing sorry with gratitude, with appreciation. Okay, so I'm very grateful for you waiting. Good morning to you all. Today, on Tip of the Morning from glorious Tenerife, I'm actually on my Wednesdays tend to be what I call my implementation day. Good morning, Susie. It's a day that I actually take out from what I call my day business, my day-to-day business as a business consultant and as business coach. And I actually don't do any business work unless I have to, unless it's like a court case or something, which I actually have next Wednesday. So other than that, I take the day and I actually start the day as usual on my 5 a.m. start. I do my magic morning routine, etc. And then I get on with implementation and planning and just taking the time to think, which is something that an awful lot of, in my experience as a business coach and a business consultant, over the years I've seen that, and I include myself, hands up on this one, we tend not to take time for ourselves or for working what we say. You know the expression, don't work just in your business, work on your business, not in your business, on your business. So basically Wednesdays are on my business day. On my business day. I haven't had my second cup of Nespresso. Cheers. You can't see because I'm not in the office. I don't have my frothy. You can't actually see the Nespresso, but it is frothy. And as I say to everyone every morning, it is not Guinness, guys. I'm not on the Guinness from first thing in the morning. So cheers to you. And I've got beside my, just interrupt here, a little bit of jokey, smiley, my garbanzo shaker to break any negative energy that I might be around me or might be in your room or around you. So I'm sending these positive vibes to you guys. Remember that the garbanzo shaker is a tip from my wonderful friend, Sensei Victoria Whitfield from New Jersey. And one of her tricks was, do the garbanzo shaker, make a noise, break the negative energy, because this is something that the shamans, it's something shamanic. So good morning, Kay. Good morning. Domestic Tammy Pete. Now that's a name. Where did you get that one from? I know that sometimes over here they ask me where do I get Cochrane from, or Cochrane Hall. But Domestic Tammy Pete. So are we talking to Pete? Are we talking to Tammy? Whoever we're talking to, lots of love and thank you for joining us today. So on with the tip of the morning. The tip of the morning this morning, I want to talk about, share with you something that has been working in my mind for quite Jose Luis, buenos dias, hi. I wanted to talk to you about what I term self-first. Now, this is something that I know that we all find a little difficult, to talk about self-first, putting ourselves first. Because from we are small, we are told to share, to think of others, to do unto others as you would want done unto you, etc., etc. And a lot of what I would call the Northern Irish background, especially in evangelical churches, is that it's not a Christian thing to do, to think of yourself before other people. And I consider, my humble opinion, and what I've seen working in my life, is that I do not serve my life's purpose. I do not help the people I'm here. I do not serve the people, and that's the purpose of my life, is to serve others. And I can't do that, and none of us can if we're feeling down in the mouth, if we're feeling down in energy, if we're not optimizing our energy and feeling absolutely fabulous. Okay, so that's why I would say that very clearly. Putting yourself first, not in a openly selfish way, but in the plane where they talk about this concept of the oxygen mask, that you can't help others if you don't, put your oxygen mask on you first before you put it on other folks. before you can help others, you've got to help yourself. Basically, this is where I would come in and say this to. It's what I teach in my coaching. It's what I teach my team, that they've got to be very, very self first, which is different from selfish. So if you, as the saying goes, the oil lamp. If we've heard all of these expressions, but if we really listen to them and really get them, they're gospel truths. An oil lamp will not be able to shine its light if you don't refill the lamp. So how often do you fill your lamp? So one of the things that came to me was I had to ask myself, I chose to ask myself this morning in my journaling, Karen, what is your oxygen mask? What constitutes your oxygen mask in your life? It's not an easy question. You have to sit and think, what do I need in my life? What are my basic needs? What makes my heart sing? What makes me feel absolutely fabulous? So this isn't all about me sitting here and you lot listening. It's also about, I always say, let the self-help not become shelf-help. In this case, listen to it and leave it here and that's it. No, take some of the tips, if you can take all of them, fabulous, but take some of them and apply them and see how they resonate, see how they work in your life. Give them the opportunity to work in your life. So what I would say to you is, ask yourself today, take your journal, take a piece of paper, and just think, become aware of what is your oxygen mask, what constitutes your oxygen mask in your life and in your business and in your profession. What do you need? What are your basic needs? Now, some people come back to me and they say, I don't know. I really haven't thought of that. And I would always say, our lovely feelings or our shitty feelings are our GPS. The way we feel, it tells us the truth. If we are honest with our feelings and we become aware of our feelings, if you're feeling good, do more of it. It will make your heart sing. Do what you love. Do more of what you love. All of these expressions, we see them posted on Facebook. We see them in the social media. We hear them, but do we really get them? So I would say, to be able to know what your oxygen mask is, guys, what is my oxygen mask? Well, I personally, I know what I love doing, and I know what gives me passion. I know what fills me up. I know what energizes me. And that's what over the years, that's what I've done. We tend to be, when we're in our area of unique brilliance doing our work, when we're the thing that you would do all day without getting paid for it is the best thing that you could be doing for your clients or the people that you're here to serve. If you're in a job, if the boss is working their team properly and correctly and having a team in balance, we look in within our team for the team members to what they're excellent at, for them to do that, and for them to do that almost exclusively, because that is what they will get most productivity. That's where they'll get most results. That's where they will love coming to work. They'll love getting up in the morning and diving into work. And that to me is the secret of success and happiness, is finding that balance of, looking after yourself, but also helping others and optimizing the help that you can help. How we can serve best other people is doing what most we enjoy. So do you see why I've brought this, or how I've brought this full circle? That it's not a matter of being selfish. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about self first. Get what your oxygen mask in your life, what your needs are, your basic needs. Fulfill those needs. Connect to your feelings. Sorry about that. I hope you heard me. So I'm just going to check with my notes here, because I think there's some important stuff that I've taken from my journaling this morning. So looking after number one first, and there's nothing bad about this, but it's not all about me. Don't make that mistake. Don't reject this because you think that I'm telling you to be selfish. I'm not showing you to be selfish, quite the opposite. How can I serve others and my life's purpose to the maximum level if I'm not looking after myself and I'm not feeling my best, I'm not optimizing my life best? What constitutes your oxygen mask? What is essential to you? What are your basic needs? And if you don't know what your needs are, which there's nothing wrong with that, we not only often don't know what our needs are, but we change. And as we change, as we get older, more experienced in life, our basic needs can change as well. So this is like anything else with growth. You have to keep on being consistent and going deeper. I would ask you the question, your feelings are your guide always. They're our GPS. And when you're doing things, when you're around certain people, if you feel bad, do it less. If you feel great, do it more. Focus on having more of the good stuff in your life, and don't get into a panic about thinking, God, this is awfully radical. This is, how can I make these radical changes from one day to the next? I'm not talking about making radical changes. I have a tip which I think is really good, and it helps people calm themselves down, get them out of the panic of doing stuff and of being a different person. 1% daily. The 1% daily tip is amazing. What do I mean by that? Stretch yourself by 1%. In other words, if you want to do more of a certain thing, but you can't find the time to do it all the time, do it little by little, 1% improvement daily. And if you do it daily, that's 365% improvement in a year. So all you have to do, and it's that simple, not necessarily easy, but it's that simple. 1%, look at your metrics, apply that 1% improvement daily, commit 100% and be consistent in that 1%. And you can imagine it doesn't take an awful lot. For example, somebody asked me the other day about how did I actually get up at 5 o'clock every morning. Now, I committed to that approximately about 3 years ago. And what did I do? I normally got up about 7:30. I think back and I think, my life was so different, and the results that I got from my life and the person that I am is so different from before I started doing this. This is one of the major things that has changed my life. And I used to get up literally fall out of bed at maybe 6:45, 10 to 7, and leave the house at 7:30. And it was all a rush job, and I didn't get motivated, I didn't get grounded, I didn't journal, I didn't pray, I didn't connect, I didn't do any exercise. I literally fell into work, and I was a complete victim to what happened during the day, and I had very little planification, and my life just rolled on, and that was it. So what did I do when I committed to getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning? The difference between putting your alarm clock on, let's be brutally honest here, putting your alarm clock on when you're used to getting up 7:15, 7 o'clock in the morning, putting it on at 5 is not a great idea. That shock treatment will result in you not actually keeping on with it. So what did I do? Every single day I put my alarm. One day, instead of 7:15, I put it at 7:20. And sometimes when I was tired the night before, if I wasn't able to get to bed out of circumstances at the time I wanted, I'd put it at the same time the day before. But little by little, my body and my mind adapted to getting up that bit earlier. And after a few months, I was able to get up at the 5 o'clock. I was able to put my alarm and my phone on at 5 o'clock and get up and jump out of bed because of the results, how energizing this because I have 1.5 hours for me. The house is perfectly quiet. It's a beautiful time. It's my me time, and it really sets my day up, and it gets the results. It makes me much more grounded, a nicer boss, a better professional. I'm a nicer person in every aspect because I am calmer and I know what my intentions are for the day, and it's amazing. So it's the 1% daily, that 5 minutes earlier every day, in the example of me getting up earlier. And that's I hope that's helpful. That tip is helpful, the 1% daily tip, because I've seen it, people apply it. And listen guys, something came to me in the shower. The idea is, sometimes the inspiration comes to me when I'm in the shower. And the idea came to me this morning to share with you the following, that it's okay not to be perfect about the implementation. That I've got to admit to the following. If I'm sitting here and I'm spicing on about, oh, I'm so fucking brilliant, I get up at 5 o'clock every morning and I rock the world. No. There's some days that I feel tired the night before, and I know that I've got to bed a little bit later, so I don't put my alarm on at 5 o'clock. Some days I get up at 6 o'clock. Oh, I've admitted liability here. I'm not perfect, and that's not what life is about. It's the commitment to grow, to be, at the end of a period of time, to be a better person, the best version possible of you. And you've got to have compassion with yourself, because, we talk about, again, this is a self-first business. If you don't love yourself, if you're not compassionate and kind to yourself, who can you possibly be kind and compassionate with? So learn to be compassionate and kind first to yourself. And if you're not perfect, that's okay. No pasa nada, as the Spanish say. No pasa absolutamente nada. So getting back on track, because I'm feeling inspired today. I hope the tip of the morning is inspiring. The 1% daily rule, I've explained that to you and how I apply it, and I hope that that's good for you and that you start doing that. And I would also say, I'm always going on about boundaries, and I would say set those personal boundaries, both your personal with yourself, with third parties in your relationships, and also the boundaries within your business, your terms and conditions of life, and comply to them. Make sure that other people do keep up with your boundaries. Be clear, be kind, be compassionate in explaining where your boundaries lie and the consequences of the person or the people not complying with the boundaries, and be prepared to commit to carrying out the consequences. I believe very firmly that if we connect to our feelings and what we are tolerating on a daily basis, this is one of the major ways that we can improve our life and our businesses, and our own selves. We become a better version of ourselves. We become a better version. We create a better version of our business and our profession and of our team by committing to setting boundaries, by connecting to our feelings. Something makes me feel bad. Why do I have to have something that makes me feel bad in my life? I have a choice. We all do. So keep on with the boundary setting. And I've said to you that I was going to talk on the next few Facebook Lives daily on the tip of the morning about what I call my positivity alarms. And today I wanted to share the positivity alarm. Once impossible, now easy. Now that comes up on my phone. And what does that mean to me? How does that help me? I feel that I do not always celebrate my successes. I think that the tendency is we're trained to focus on the negative and what's not working rather than what is working. And if you think back to, we have to take stock, okay? And I think that that's one of the things that I do also. I know that it's one of the things that I do also. Several ways. I do it on my Wednesday and my implementation on my planning days when I work on my business and on my life. I do it when I do my 90-day planning. I do it when I mastermind with my peer groups, okay? Those are the three instances where I will put all of this good stuff into practice. And what am I saying to do? What I'm suggesting that you do is that you also take time, you schedule it into your diary to actually, even if it's once a month, just look back on the month and give yourself a huge pat in the back. Celebrate your wins, celebrate what you're achieving, because that is beautiful. And, if you think back when you were wee, of actually, you remember how to do a knot, to tie your shoelaces? How difficult it was, and now it's something that you absolutely take for granted. Or driving a car, when you were learning how to drive, you're driving a manual car and you're doing all the gears and the clutch and all the rest of it, and it seems that there's 300 different things to think of at the same time, and now you drive almost automatically without thinking. It's an automatic thing. So that was once impossible, now easy. And if we apply that to different things within our lives, I'm not tremendously techy, and I've learned over the years that I embrace the idea of learning different things. I'm never going to be I'm not going to set up a business telling people how to do technical things with their computer, with their phones, with cameras, etc. But it's something that I have embraced, and that things that I thought I couldn't do before, once impossible, now easy. And I celebrate that. I can see my growth and I can feel my growth within, and that's important because that's what this is all about. It takes an effort, it takes a commitment, it takes that 1% daily to improving ourselves and our lives. So the positivity alarm that I wanted to share to you today was once impossible, now easy. Celebrate your success and growth. Remind yourself how far you have come, and remind also your team, because oftentimes when we have a team in work in our profession or business, we often focus on ourselves, and we are not alone. No self-made millionaire got to be a millionaire or a billionaire on their own. They got there because they have a team behind them. And if you cultivate your team and create a great team and love your team up, your team will love you and will take you up to higher levels as well. Okay. Cleo, being a parent, I assumed I would make huge ongoing errors, but actually I'm thinking your daughter is beautiful. She is an absolute credit to you, my darling. So keep on doing what you're doing with your parenting. You could give a lot of tips of the morning on parenting, my darling. My challenge, remember yesterday I set a challenge, and I want to keep myself accountable for this. I set the challenge, and I would like you to, if possible, go back and listen to the Facebook Live yesterday on how to reverse engineer a challenge. I set myself a challenge that by the 6th of July, which was 1 month from yesterday, 6th of June, 6th of July, I wanted to translate my big beautiful balance guidebook that I published last year. I want to translate it into Spanish. Okay, Jose Luis Arriaga was listening earlier, and I think he's still on. My darling, you will get this book within the month. Okay, so I set myself, the reverse engineering was the pages, how many pages, the metrics of how many pages I had to translate Monday to Friday, because I'm not doing it the weekend. That is my time. And so I was very clear on that. So yesterday I broke my metrics. I did a little bit more. I choose to do it today on a daily basis to hit the goal. So you can hold me the challenge. Yeah, Jose Luis, the challenge has been achieved for yesterday, my metrics from yesterday. What I would say to you, actually, I wrote this down, is why don't you join me in doing a little challenge for yourself? Set yourself something that you want to do maybe by the 6th of July. Work out the reverse engineering. Listen to the Facebook Live yesterday. And also, if you do have problems, any queries, whatever, PM me, and I'll certainly reach out and help you with reverse engineering, because it's quite exciting and it gets the results, and it's not difficult. None of this stuff is difficult to do. If I can do it, I'm blonde, I'm Northern Irish, everyone can do it. I'm just a normal person. Getting to do extraordinary things, getting to help wonderful people, because I'm committed to doing it, to doing the basics and keeping on doing it. What the Americans say, I think their expression is to rinse and repeat. Well, rinse and repeat. Try out these little tips. I'm giving an awful lot of value on these Facebook Lives, because I committed to doing a Facebook Live, if you remember, to get out of my comfort zone and also to give back. I'm very grateful for the knowledge that I have after 25 years as a business consultant and as a business coach, and I just want to put it out there, to help other people. And if one person daily listens to a tip and applies it and it resonates with them, Jose Luis is one of my VIP coaching clients here in Tenerife. He's an amazing professional, and he is absolutely rocking it with our coaching program. Positivity alarms. Jose Luis, a call out to you. Congratulations. Celebrate once impossible, now easy. Celebrate your wins, my darling, because you're doing great things. And he's allowing me to help him to reach extraordinary levels of success in his life and in his business. And I'm really, really appreciative of that. So that's why I'm doing these Facebook Lives. It's a commitment. It's something that I want to do. I was drawn, the Lord told me to do this, and that's what I'm doing. So I hope you all appreciate, and I hope that you share the Facebook Lives. Follow me. When you're listening to me, when I'm up on your screen, you can follow me, and that means that you don't miss, and that it'll come up on your what you call them, your reminders on your Facebook that I've been live. And if you miss me, then you can listen to me later. And there's a lot of really good stuff here. Not everything will resonate with you. As I say to people like Jose Luis, I say to them, listen, these are the things that have worked for me and for other people that I've trained and taught over the years. Take them, try them, and apply them and adapt them to your life and your business. That is the beauty of, I want people to improve on what I've done. I want people to take my stuff, what I've created, and make it even better. That would be my legacy to the world. So I would absolutely be thrilled if that happens, and it is happening. So I want to finish off sending you lots and lots and lots of love from, I was going to say sunny Tenerife, but it's I'm sitting here at the back patio, and it's not tremendously sunny today, but it's about 25 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty hot. In Manchester, my darling sister was telling me that it's pishing it down, really, really cold. It's like November, so I'm sorry, guys, if you're suffering in the mainland UK, bad weather, because here it's always, as always, the eternal lucky islands, the fortunate isles, as they call the Canary Islands. We have eternal spring all year round here, so fantastic. I'm really, really, really grateful. Really appreciate where I live. It's never too hot and it's never too cold, so that is amazing. So this has been, just in case you've forgotten who I am, this has been Karen Cochrane Hall with love and humour. Tip of the morning to you from a wonderful Tenerife, and from Tarabiz Condado and clientmarketingsolutions.com. God bless you all. Have a phenomenal day, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Mwah.